Hey everyone, this is Carnage Panda coming back with more Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. This was a request from a viewer, so I'm just going to go into equipment. This is going to be like the final setups for everybody at the end of the game, because as you go along the game, you're just going to be changing equipment. So there's basically just going to be the builds I have for characters, so I'm just going to go through them one by one. And you know what? I never did the dialogue for World of Ruin and the airship. So I'm just going to go through each character, the logic underpinning it and everything. Alright, General Leo, I think I've begun to understand the things you told me. And so I'll just go down the list as it is. Changes the music when you go inside? Okay, so Terra, this is what I have her set up with. So until you get the Excalibur, there's really no good weapon for her. I believe, because I tend to use the Ultima weapon with her until I get the Excalibur, but the Excalibur has gotten so late in the game that it's almost not even worth it. And one of the things I really like to do with equipment in this game is to get equipment that has stat boosts, and also anything that has a plus to evasion or magic evasion is really good. So you could either go with Excalibur here like I do, because Excalibur is one of the harder hitting weapons, puts your attack over 200. But another one that you could also use, well, up until there is the Falchion, because that'll give you 10 evade. And the other one that's also really good is the Enhancer, because this will give you plus 7 to magic and plus 20 to magic evasion. So it's kind of up to you, but I like Excalibur. It does holy damage, so it's extra damage against things that are weak against holy and undead. And it gives her a lot more attack power than she would normally, because there's problems. The other weapons that she has just don't have the attack power of the Excalibur. And the Ultima weapon has that mechanic where it's based on your current HP, so the more damage that Terra takes, the less damage she's going to do with the Ultima weapon. It also ignores her strength stat as well, so... Plus Excalibur gives stat boosts, and the Ultima weapon does not. Like, if you look at that, the Excalibur beats it hands down. At least in my opinion. The Ultima weapon does have a plus that it ignores defense as well, but it doesn't really matter with Terra because she has trance, so she's actually probably the best character in the game, actually. When she hits trance, she starts doing double damage with everything and takes half damage, so it's hard to beat her. Now, I usually pick up Thunder Shields from the Mudsuds in Kefka's Tower late in the game because they're the best elemental shield. You can also swap them in the Coliseum for Genji Shields, which will give you plus 20 to evade and magic evade and better defense. But the Thunder Shields also have extra elemental resistances, which actually doesn't matter with a character like Terra. So you get a Thunder Shield for her, you just swap it into a Genji Shield, which would be a better option. And let's see. So yeah, I'd get her a Thunder Shield from the Mud set. Unfortunately, stealing doesn't work that great. It's not that great in this version. The Pixel Remaster block is just not like the rare steals and the rare drops are not very good. So I actually forewent that, but normally I would have either a Thunder Shield or the superior option for her is the Genji Shield. Just for her though, because her body armor, the best body armor she gets is the Minerva Bustier, which is just it's a top tier piece of armor. I don't like there's nothing in the game that, like, in my opinion, there's nothing in the game that is better than this piece of armor. At least in the body armor slot. Really high defense and magic evasion, gives you 10 magic evasion, some stat boosts, increases her MP pool by 25%, and gives her resistance to 4 of the elements. I can't quite remember what it is. I would have to look at it. I guess I would take it off just to look at it here. Let's see, Minerva Bustier. Okay, so it's going to negate damage. You're going to take 0 damage from fire, ice, thunder, and wind, and then half damage from poison, holy, earth, and water. So yeah, this is a hard piece of armor to beat. There's nothing that beats it, honestly. It's probably the best piece of armor in the entire series. And when it comes to helmets, helmets are probably the worst piece of equipment in the game. There's a few options. I usually just put circlets on everybody because I like the stat boosts that come off of it. It's a passable helm with its defense and magic defense. But what I'm really looking for here is the stat boost. There are a couple other options that Terra can use, mainly because she's a woman, and there's a bunch of female-exclusive equipment in this game, like the Oath Veil, which has better defense and magic defense, but you can also use the Mystery Veil, which will give her some stat boosts and some extra magic evasion. And outside of that, let's see. At in-game levels, the Priest Mitre and the Green Beret are other passable pieces of armor. Because the Green Beret will give you 12.5% more HPs, and will actually boost your evasion. Priest Mitre is kind of the opposite end of the Green Beret. It's actually a better piece of armor, too, because it has the same defense as the Green Beret, but 11 more magic defense. This one is if you want magic evasion, and it also increases your MP by 12.5%. Probably won't be going over helmets a lot, because outside of the Green Beret, the Priest Mitre, Mystery Veil, and you know, the Genji helm is a fine helmet if you're just looking for defense and magic defense, but later in the game, I really start to skew towards evasion and magic evasion, because those are just way better stats. Relics, it doesn't really matter with her. I just usually slap a ribbon on her, and then the second relic, that also doesn't matter. I put prayer beads on her. You could really put anything like sprint shoes, whatever you want. I think since she's one of the better characters in the game, it would just behoove you to slap a ribbon on her, because then she'll be able to just use Esna on the other party members that are afflicted by status ailments and keep it going. But I think there's like one status effect, I think stop or something, that the ribbon does not protect against, but everything else is going to negate. Maybe death sentence as well. Prayer beads are a really good accessory, actually. It says they give evasion plus 20, which is okay. Boosting evasion at end game is a good idea. Same with magic evasion, because you could really become overpowered with a lot of evasion and magic evasion, and unfortunately the evasion bug isn't present in this version or previous versions. What happens is that in the original SNES version, evasion did not work. It was all queued off of magic evasion, so you could just completely ignore that stat, but here you can't. Evasion only works on physical attacks, and magic evasion only works on magical attacks. Now, you can get perfect evasion by casting Vanish on your character, but at the same time, it'll drop your magic evasion to 0, and the spell will always hit, always be successful. So you got to keep that in mind. Now, you can boost evasion and magic evasion up to 255, but maximum is actually 128. It's either 127 or 128. I'm not sure where it actually counts it as, yes, you're 100% going to evade it. So evasion is not actually 55% and 17% there, because it's taken out of 128. So it's a little less. It's one of those tricky things that game developers like to do, to be like, yeah, it's not really that. You're not getting what you're being sold here. So yeah, I kind of built Terra that way. And you can see she has a ton of MP just off that Minerva Bustier. Who's next? Okay, as long as we don't give up hope, there's still a chance for the future. Ah, it's Locke. Guess I'll talk to him next. Let's go down here and talk about Locke's equipment. Now, Locke does have some options as well. He's got a lot of good things going for him. He's like a natural. There's some heavy armors he can wear, but since he's supposed to be the thief class, like if you take it into context from Final Fantasy V, he would be a thief. Locke's actually got a lot of things going for him. A lot of people think that he's a really bad character because I don't know reasons, but he's got a lot of good equipment he can pick up, and equipment is pretty much the game winner in this game, especially at the end of the game when you're just getting ridiculous stuff. So his ultimate weapon is supposed to be the Valiant Knife. Personally, I don't really like it. It works like a reverse ultimate weapon, that the lower that, the more damage that Locke takes, he does more damage. And this weapon also ignores defense like the ultimate weapon. So it is an option. One of the things you can do with Locke is give him a Genji glove. Now I'm not a fan of the Genji glove in this game. It's to be honest, it's overrated, and I don't think that it's a good option. But you could dual wield with him. One of the things is that he gets to equip a lot of special weapons that allows him to be in the back row. A lot of boomerang type weapons, long range, that allows him to be in the back row and take half damage and still do full damage with his melee attacks. And a lot of them have special attacks, like the Hawkeye does quadruple damage when it triggers it. I do like to equip him with the Wing Edge here. I think it's his best option. Full damage from back row. 25% chance to do instant death. So one of the downsides is that instant death attacks in this game, except for a few of them, like Break, which inflicts petrification, and I believe Snare. Banish probably works as well, but I think the Carl Katz Blaster doesn't. It ignores it well, but if it's instant death, if you use it on undead, it's going to give them a full heals, and unfortunately, it doesn't work at a 25% chance on the undead. It'll always trigger the instant death attack. So that's something that you'll have to be mindful. So I would recommend teaching him some spells like Fyra and Holy and all that good stuff. But I really like this weapon because it gives him, on top of that, a lot of stat boosts, like especially strength and agility +7. You can't really beat a weapon. This is a hard weapon to beat, to be honest. And because he's able to be put in the back row, I love to give him the Force Shield. The Force Shield is stupidly good. It has 0 defense, but it has top tier magic defense and gives +50 to magic evasion. So it's really going to boost his magic evasion and make him very difficult to hit with spells. You can see that I have his magic evasion up to 82 here. And I'm not sure. Actually, I was going to say it had like elemental resistances, but I think what it does is that it gives you permanent shell status. So on top of that, it just makes you really tough to take out with magic. So, like, really good. These synergize really well together. So that's why I like to pick up the Wing Edge, because you can put on the Force Shield, be back row, and have that really bad defense, and it's not going to matter as much. Helmet, I don't really have to cover. Circlet, you know, I'll be honest. I think this is the best helmet outside of the cat ear hood for Realm. There's really, I'm not a fan of the helmets in this game. Now he can equip the Force Armor. Force Armor is really good. It's like 5 out of 8 elements. I'm not really going to care to look at them, but it also has a pretty good defense and magic defense, and raises magic evasion by 30 points. So that coupled with the Force Shield, I guess you could, if you really wanted to, give him another helm like the Priest Spider to increase his magic evasion some more. That's really the only helm you could give him to increase his magic evasion, but it is going to drop his stats and everything. So unless you really want to min-max that magic evasion, unfortunately he has really bad evasion. So with this build. So just try to keep him out of harm's way. Keep him in the back row. And you want to give him the Thief's Bracer. It's unfortunate. Now the way the steel formula works in this game is that it compares Locke's level to the enemy's level, and if Locke's level is greater than the enemy's level, then he will steal. So there's a check there, and then there's a second check when he goes to find when the game goes to find out which item he has stolen, because there's two different slots that he steals from. So they'll check. It'll be like, okay, there's an is it 88.5 or 87.5? I think it's 87.5% chance that he'll steal the common item, and then a 12.5% chance that he will steal the rare item. Now, this could be really bad in the early game when his level is low, and he's not getting past that first check, and he's going to fail a lot of steals if that's the case. Now, the Thief's Bracelet actually comes in and doubles his level in the formula, which makes it a lot easier for him to pass that first check. So you pretty much always want to have this equipped on him. And agility +5, he's got +12 agility. Now, there are some arguments that agility is not that great in this game, that maxing it out is not a good idea, because when they're doing the animations, the bars are just going to fill up anyway. So you're kind of getting penalized from having high agility. So your mileage may vary with this. I really kind of ignore agility. There's only one Esper in the game that you can boost agility with, and then you can actually lose that Esper by upgrading it from Odin to Raiden. So yeah, I just tend to ignore agility. Now, later in the game, you'll want to get Miracle Shoes on him, but up until that point, I tend to put Hermes Sandals on him. Because when you're stealing, you want him to get his turn as fast as possible. So this is going to give him haste, which is going to double his speed. But once you're able to get Miracle Shoes, every relic that has these effects is just obsoleted by this, because it's giving you 4 effects. This relic is actually overpowered. You're going to get Haste, Protect, Shell. Now, he's not going to get Shell because he's already got it from Force Shield, so that doesn't matter. But getting 4 status effects from one relic, it's just awesome. So yeah, I think that's all I really got to say about Locke. It's unfortunate that he really sucks in this version, because Steel can actually get you a lot of good items, a lot of accessories for free, a lot earlier than you're able to get them normally. But my experience, and a lot of other people's experiences in the Pixel Remaster, is that Steel is just absolute garbage. All right, so let's go talk to Cayenne. I think he's down in the engineering room or whatever. Might actually be a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Okay, what an intriguing apparatus. All right, so we got Cayenne here. Cayenne is much improved in this version. I've gone over it during my playthrough. The whole battle speed thing helps him out a lot. So, looking at his equipment, with Cayenne, his weapon doesn't actually really matter. There's a few standouts like the Murasame. I think the Murasame has an additional effect. But it will give you a 10 extra evade. The Kazakiri has a 25% chance to use Wind Slash on attacks, so that's also good. But his ultimate weapon is the Mutsu no Kami. Gives him his highest attack power, and more importantly, gives him 20 evade. There's really no reason to worry about Cayenne's weapon, because there's no point in using his attack command, even if you wanted to get his desperation attack. There's no point in using that, because Bushido, all of his Bushidos are a way better option. And his Bushidos are not actually based off of his attack power. So upgrading his weapon is not going to do anything for his Bushidos. So, yeah, just put like the Murasame in his hand to get the extra evade or whatever until you get the Mutsu no Kami. And you'll be good with Cayenne. His Bushidos are all based off of his strength stat, and with the exception of, let's see, I believe Dragon has spell power because it has like a drain and osmosis effect, and his sixth one, oh, what do they call it in this version? Okay, Eclipse. So Eclipse is actually based off of his magic power as well, but everything else is based off of his strength, except Oblivion, because that's instant death. So you will want to boost his strength to get more damage out of his Bushidos. Now you will get one Genji shield. I tend to slap this on him because this is an excellent shield. The second best shield in the game, actually. If I was gonna rank shields, Paladin shield is obviously the best. There is no argument on that one. Then I would go Genji shield, and then Thunder shield, and those are the top 3 shields. Now, the reason I give him the Genji shield is because he does get Force Armor, which is going to give him some elemental resistances, and this is going to help boost his magic evade and his evasion. Otherwise, he actually does not have really good evasion stats and stuff. He's one of the natural Force Armor wearers, so this is a no-brainer Force Armor. Maybe second best? I don't know. There's some arguments. The top 3 armors are the Minerva Bustier, the Force Armor, and the Snow Scarf. Yeah, so I want to give him Force Armor. There's no arguing on. If the character could wear Force Armor, then give them Force Armor. It's going to give them a lot of defense, magic defense, and elemental resistances. And it's plus 30 to magic evade. Can't beat it. I did give him the red cap because it gives him a higher strength boost. And since most of his Bushidos are based off of strength, this is the better option for him over the Circlet. Now, you could give him the Circlet if you wanted to use his level 6 more. But I believe using his level 7 to kill bosses and having a little extra strength is the better option. This will also give him a 25% boost to his HPs, so make him a little tankier. Now, I do give him the Hyper Wrist because his Bushidos are based off of his strength stat, and the Hyper Wrist will boost a character's strength stat by 50%. It works off of their natural strength, so I basically just get all my characters up to 40 and then leave it there for all their equipment boosts. But it's not going to like boost off of since the red cap gives him an extra force strength. Where is he getting this extra strength though? Oh, I guess it is giving him an extra boost off of that. It used to not be that way. Pixel Remaster cheats here. But yeah, so I guess I was wrong there. It does give him a 50% boost off this. So I'm used to it doing it just off the base strength, but since he has 40 strength, this is going to give him a plus 20. This is basically going to boost his attack power by 25% roughly. It's on par with the Hero's Ring and the Gigas Glove bonus. And I'm going to couple this. Now, the reason why I do this is because the Hero Ring and the Gigas Glove, their physical attack bonuses do not stack. The magical bonuses, however, do stack. So you could put 2 Hero Rings on or 2 earrings and get a 50% bonus, but you cannot do that with the Gigas Glove and the Hero's Ring. It's not going to give you a 50% bonus. The best you can get is 25%. So this is kind of like getting a 50% bonus out of the damage. But I give him a Hero's Ring because this is going to boost both his physical and magic attack power. His Quadra attacks are going to do a lot of damage and take out bosses. So you're going to want to use that to boost that damage. But also, since level 6 is a great multi-target magic attack, it's also worth boosting the damage from that. So I'm going to give a 25% boost there. Okay, so that's really all I have to say about Cayenne. I do that, leave him exposed to status effects and everything. I don't really care. Doing a lot of damage is a lot better than you know, worrying about putting ribbons on and everything, in my opinion. Okay, so we want Shadow. Shadow's probably not even going to say anything. Shadow's going to be an interesting case, actually. Yeah, Shadow's like, don't talk to me. And we want to do Edgar after this. Okay, first things first, I don't actually teach Shadow any magic because he's a great person to put in the Coliseum. His weapons really help him out there. And he also doesn't need to learn magic. He's one of the characters that is just fine without learning magic. His special command throw gives him a lot of options. All the scrolls do more damage than the level 2 elemental spells, and his shurikens are going to do a fuck ton of damage to bosses. That being said, you still need to build him out. Now, you're going to want to go between the Ichigeki and the Kaganui, depending on the situations. The Kaganui does have more attack power, but the Ichigeki has a 25% chance to instantly kill something, so the only reason you would want to go away from the Ichigeki is if you're facing like undead, or you know, they have resistance to instant death, and the Kaganui would work better. Because Stop is it's actually a pretty damn good status effect to use in this game. So when things present themselves and you need a different ninja blade for him, I'd go with the Kaganui because his weapons are actually pretty damn good. Circlet because it is a pretty damn good helm. It's going to give him a lot of stat boosts. And then the Genji armor. There's only one that you find in the game, and I feel that it's best to give it to him because he can actually naturally wear it. It's better to give him the black garb, and most of the other people that can wear this have better options. So I just feel like it's a good item to give it to him because it's going to give him more defense and magic defense than he would otherwise be able to get with the black garb, which is going to help him out a lot. And then I would definitely recommend giving him a Thunder Shield because Shadow is not going to have any elemental resistances without one of the elemental shields, and the Thunder Shield is the best one. I'm actually going to remove it and take a look at it real quick. So yeah, it's going to help you out with 4 out of the 8 elements. It's going to allow him to absorb thunder, negate wind, and have damage from fire and ice. So it's actually a very great option to put on him. The unfortunate thing about this is that it will teach him Thundara at a ×5 rate. So that's going to give him a magic spell, which is going to kind of hurt him in the Coliseum, but not kind of. I had actually really good experience with it in the Coliseum, but it's also going to give him 20 evade and magic evade. So I would definitely recommend this shield to put on him. And one thing I didn't really go over when I was talking about giving Locke to the Genji Glove is that the reason that I don't feel that dual-wielding weapons in this game is a good idea is because shields are just so good in this game. They give you a lot of evasion, a lot of magic evasion, and you know, dual-wielding is not really great because it only uses, I believe, 75% of the attack power of the weapon. So it's just giving you like 1.5 times the damage that you're really doing. So you could just berserk somebody and have the same effect. And then you could still have a shield on them. So yeah, you're picking up a lot of resistances with this. If you were dual wielding with him, you would like lose all those resistances. Now I basically build him the same way with the relics as I do a Cayenne. Hyper-wristed Hero Ring. Hero Ring because he uses both physical and magic, and this to double stack his physical damage because he's actually one of the best damage sources in the game. That's basically all I have to say about Shadow here. Yeah, you want to give him the Genji armor because it's going to give him a +5 strength boost, which is going to help him out a lot. I mean, look at that, 70 strength. That's really high. Where are you, Edgar? Come here, you punk. If something were to happen to me, all the world's ladies would grieve. I don't think that would be the case at all. Edgar's actually kind of a disappointment, to be honest. He's good up until the World of Ruin, and then his tools kind of trail off. He's kind of mid, in my opinion. Like, you have a lot better options. I do give him the red cap because Chainsaw is his best single target damage. I want to boost his strength as much as possible. There's really no reason, no argument to make for the HP boost, though. I don't feel like HP is really a problem in this game. Force armor, no-brainer. If a character can wear force armor, give them force armor. I do have him with the Crystal Shield. I would have him with the Thunder Shield. I would recommend that. Or a Genji Shield if you really want to stack up the evasion and magic evasion. Probably Genji Shield, considering that he does have the Force Armor, which is going to give him a lot of elemental resistances. And I think they pretty much have the Thunder Shield and Force Armor have the same. So I would go to the Coliseum and maybe get a Genji Shield for him to give him the plus 20 to evade and magic evade. That would be good. The Zantetsuken, a lot of people could use this. There's really no best person to put this on. I think a lot of people recommend to put this on Cayenne because they think he sucked, but he's much improved in Pixel Remaster, so don't have to bother with that. I really don't have a place to put this weapon. It has a 25% chance to instantly destroy an enemy it hits, and I believe this does not. I believe this actually works against undead, so that's an option. But you're pretty much just going to be auto crossbow, bio blaster, chainsaw. Once you get it, I really don't use the debilitator and the air anchor that much. I guess the debilitator could be good, but you know, I mean, it's just not that great of a tool. I mean, if you wanted to give somebody an elemental weakness, you could do it. You could give somebody all 8 elemental weaknesses, but you could just be doing damage at the time with the chainsaw. Air Anchor, okay, whatever. It's just an instant death attack, so it's going to fail a lot of the time. I also boost him with the Hyper Risk Hero's Ring. He's one of the characters that I go with this build, but to be honest, he just doesn't compete with other characters like Cayenne, Shadow, and Sabin at endgame. So he's probably the most mid-tier character in the game. Actually, you know what? Since he does get Esper boost, he beats Go-Go. I know there's going to be a lot of Go-Go fanboys that are like, what? Go-Go's like the best because you can give him any command, but you can't boost his stats with Esper, so he's actually lackluster compared to the other characters. Who's next? Sabin. Okay, let's go talk to Sabin. Sabin's gonna be interesting because he actually has the worst equipment draws in the game. Alright, let's do this. Got Celis next. She doesn't really say anything. Okay, so Sabin does have his ultimate weapon. Only he can use it unless somebody uses the Merits Award. But it was meant for him. Tiger Fang's not a bad weapon. Gives him a lot of stat boosts. So it's actually worth putting a weapon on, even though there's no reason to use the attack command with Sabin. Let's just be honest. He's just going to be a blitz machine, and that's all they're going to do. The only reason you would want to put a weapon on him is for the stat boosts. This does everything that you need out of it. I would recommend upgrading to a Thunder Shield. If Locke didn't suck, I would have him with a Thunder Shield, but I put an Ice Shield on him because it's I guess gonna complement, but it's gonna make him weak to wind. The Red Jacket is the best piece of equipment that Sabin could wear, and it's not actually that good. Let me go over the reasons why, because it does give him stat boosts. The only thing that it's going to give him is resistance to fire. So as far as resistances go, this is why I would want to put a Thunder Shield on him, because that would give him 3 more resistances to work with. But how Blitz works is that most of his blitzes are based off of his magic stat, and only giving him magic +1 out of this kind of sucks. This is why you want to give him a circlet. It's going to give him magic +4, but there's only two of his blitzes that actually uses his strength stat. And his strength stat is already good enough as it is. It's base 47. So he's getting +10 strength out of his equipment here. Yeah, that adds up to +10. But only Raging Fist and Meteor Strike use his strength stat. Everything else is based off of his magic. So you want to pump his magic up as much as possible. So, yeah, it doesn't even really matter either, because his best Seagull target blitz is the Phantom Rush. It's going to hit the damage cap. It's just that good. And I would recommend putting an earring on him to boost his blitz damage. I guess you could put a hero ring on him. There's an argument for that. But once you get Phantom Rush, you'll never want to use Raging Fist and Meteor Strike ever again. They just can't compete with the damage it does, because Phantom Rush ignores magic defense, so it's like even with Raging Fist ignoring physical defense, Phantom Rush just beats it hands down. There's no strong argument for his second relic slot. I just put Prayer Beads there just because. All right, let's go talk about Celis then. Yeah, we already talked about you. Gonna do Strago after that. Alright, Celis probably second best character in the game. And that's only because Trance is just that good. Like, if Celis had Trance, she'd be on par with Terra, but you can't beat that. Like, even with Seal Sword, her she's just not on par. Now, she does have the same equipment draws as Terra, which makes her a top tier character. Now I give her the Lightbringer, and most of the reason I do this, there are a few other people who could use the Lightbringer. You get the Lightbringer from betting the Ragnarok in the Colosseum, but let's see. So these are the 4 people that can use the Lightbringer. Now Edgar, you could just use tools with him. Doesn't matter. Locke, you could make an argument for using the Lightbringer with Locke, but I'm just gonna. I basically use him as a steel bot, and he has the Wing Edge as well, which is a good weapon. It's not bad, but it's not on par with the Lightbringer, because the Lightbringer is the best weapon in the game, hands down. But yeah, the Lightbringer gives +7 to all stats and +50 to evasion and magic evasion. This is what makes it the best weapon in the game. It also does critical hits. It always hits critical, so there's no argument to be made that there's a weapon that's better than this. So I give it to her. This makes up for the fact that Terra has Trance, because once Terra goes into Trance, she's just going to take half damage. It doesn't matter what her evasion and magic evasion are, because she's just so good. Again, Thunder or Genji Shield, I would definitely get a Genji Shield with her, because the Minerva Bustier is just overpowered. All 8 elements. The Genji Shield would give her an extra, a lot of extra evasion and magic evasion that she doesn't otherwise have. And it'd also pump up her defense and magic defense, just to make her that much better. Same argument with the relics that Terra uses. She's basically just a carbon copy of Terra as far as equipment and build goes. The only difference is their unique commands. Unfortunately, Seal Sword in this version, Pixel Remaster, doesn't quite work that great. As soon as she uses Seal Sword, there are some good places to use Seal Sword, like if you're attacking the Brachiosaurs in the dinosaur forest. Every third turn they cast Ultima. I guess it still kind of works in this version, but for whatever reason in Pixel Remaster, when she uses Seal Sword, the enemies do not use magic. they go right to physical attacks. They're like, oh no, Celis will just absorb that. Seal Sword is actually pretty good. What it does is, like, especially if you use it with an all-physical party, because she's going to absorb the magic from your own party as well, so you have to keep that in mind. But it basically gives her it allows her to draw the magic attack to her, and she can draw a lot of like things that you wouldn't even expect. I think there's only like Meteor and something else that she can't absorb. And it also gives the MP cost back to her, so it's like an osmosis spell for her. Unfortunately, it doesn't work in this version. Don't use it. Although I guess you're kind of forced to use it against the first boss, the Tunnel Armor, but I don't know why they fucked her up. She's still a really good character. Great offense because she could use a lot of good weapons, and one of the few natural magic users, I guess. I guess if you did a challenge run where nobody was allowed to use magic, she'd be one of the top tier characters because she learns a lot of magic that wouldn't be available to you otherwise. Same as Terra, because you'd have like Cure and Ice and stuff, where in areas where they have high defense, she would definitely shine. Let's go pick up Strago and talk about him, because he's going to be weird too. All of you have that sparkle in your eyes. Well, this old man's not giving up either. Wait, we've already beaten the game. What are you talking about? Okay, I would recommend always putting Strago in the back row, because his weapons are not made for physical attacking. And he's supposed to be a caster build, so might as well just decrease the damage he takes by 50% all the time. Unfortunately, the Pixel Remaster always screws up the rows. I want to pick up the Magus Rod. I think the best rod... Well, you could put the Heal Rod on him, because this allows him to attack and restore HPs. Unfortunately, at Pixel Remaster, this takes row into account, so if you put him in the back row, he's only going to do half as good at the healing, and if your target's in the back row, it's only going to do fourth as good. So, kind of nerfed there. I guess he could use some daggers that'll parry and stuff, but really just build him as a caster. So, the best rod for him, I think, is the Mithril Rod. It's going to give him some... it's going to boost his magic by +2. Yeah, none of the other rods boost magic until you get the Magus Rod. This thing is built for making casters better. Gives you 30 magic evasion and magic +7, so that's a no-brainer on him. Circlet, same argument. I tend to couple him up with Realm, so give him a Flame Shield. The reason you would want to do this is because if you use Meltdown, you can use a Flame Shield to absorb that, so that you're able to attack and heal at the same time. Now, the best armor for him in Realm are going to be the Behemoth suits, and they give them a whole bunch of suits, but the best one is going to be the Behemoth suit. It gives +6 to every stat. Like, it's hard to argue against this. It also has really good defense and magic defense, but just off those stat boosts alone. Like, it's going to make his casting better. Like, stamina boost is going to make regen better, and regen's like the best healing spell in this game. Since he's a caster and most of the things he's going to be doing is casting, his lore command is just going to be based all off of his magic stat. You want to give him an earring to boost that by 25%, and that'll make his attacks a lot more deadlier. I don't think that the earring actually boosts the amount that you heal. I think it only works on magic attack power. Later in the game, you can start getting gold hairpins, and this will decrease the amount of MP that he uses by half. Now, you can make the argument that this is a completely unnecessary accessory because the Osmosis spell exists, and I do understand that. That's one spell that you would definitely want to teach Strago since he's a mage, but the gold hairpin will allow him to go for a little longer without needing that MP restore. That's basically all I had to say about Strago. Just build him as a caster. Come on, let's go knock the crazy right out of that guy. Let's go talk about Realm. Okay, in a... I guess I was trying to teach her, Ultima. But in a, if you're doing a challenge run where you don't, use Esper stat-up bonuses, Realm is actually the best, natural magic user because her base magic stat comes in at 44, which is, I believe, either 8 or 10 points higher than the next person, so... She will just be able. You'll be using this character in that kind of run because she's just going to be able to do devastating things to the enemies. Now her weapon is the brush because she's a Pictomancer or whatever. Honestly, there's really no arguments. She can't use the sketch command without having a brush equipped. So I guess you could make that argument, but sketch is complete trash. There's only one argument to use sketch, and that's at the battle with Ultros because you cannot win that battle until Realm sketches him. And he's like, oh, I'm a dumb octopus. Outside of that, sketch is awful. What tends to happen when you use sketch is that it takes an attack out of the enemy's AI script, and because they tend to be either status immune to what they're using, or they will absorb the element of that, it tends to be working out in their favor. There's so many other things they could have done with sketch, like make it like there's so many characters like Sabin and Cayenne, Mog. They all have like 8 different abilities. They could have just like, oh, this has 8 different effects, kind of like sets or slots or whatever, and just weighted it towards this will happen more often, and maybe like made a multi-target instant death really rare. But sketch is awful. Don't use it. So the best argument I could take is once you're able to get into Colosseum, you will get an extra healing rod in the playthrough, and if you don't screw it up like I did, just bet that healing rod, and you'll be able to get another Magus rod, which you can equip to Realm because she can equip rods as well. So that would give her a +7 magic boost, which is a lot better than what her ultimate weapon, the Rainbow Brush, will provide her. So yeah, just get a second Magus rod for her. This is the best helmet in the game, and only Realm can wear it. This has a very high defense, very high magic defense. It's going to give her a +10 boost to both evasion and magic evasion, and it's going to give agility +2 and magic +4. Another standout feature of this is that it's going to reduce by, I believe, half 6 different elements. And then for whatever reason, while she's wearing this, it'll double the gil that the party gets after battle. So just want to look at the elements that it'll absorb. Well, not absorb, but she'll take half damage from fire, ice, thunder, wind, holy, and earth. So yeah, this will actually completely... No, I think that since I use a flame shield with her, that the flame shield is weak against water. So that's one thing that you would have to worry about, because using having the weakness of water, I believe it's double damage. Is it? That yeah, that's something to watch out for. But I do strap a flame shield on her because since she is technically the best caster in the game. I would want her to learn Meltdown. Now, it is hard to learn Meltdown at the end of the game unless you're specifically grinding for it. But this allows her to launch that and heal the party and attack at the same time. Just put a flame shield on everybody in Realm's party. And since she is the best caster, I give her the Soul of Thamasta, which is going to give her the dual cast command, which allows her to use 2 spells at once on her turn. So yeah, I guess it is an orb. They give a description in the thing down here. And one of the things that you could do with the Soul of Thamasa is if you teach Realm quick, or anybody that has this equipped, you can just cast, like, I believe, technically it's 6 spells at once, but in practice you're going to be able to get 5 spells out of her on her turn, which is just completely ridiculous. And then a gold hairpin. Now, same argument, this may be unnecessary because of the Osmosis spell, but with the Soul of Thamasa, you're just going to be burning through MP with a reckless abandon, so cutting the MP cost in half, good idea. It'll actually extend the time that before you would have to actually cast Osmosis to bring her MP pool back up. Who would be next? I guess Mog? Popo. Oh, no, Setzer. Well, we'll talk about Mog, and then we'll go to Setzer. So Mog is not necessary. He's actually an extra character, and he doesn't really have a lot of backstory. Now, he's really good with his dance in the World of Balance, but it actually kind of tails off in the World of Ruin. It's not as good. So what I prefer to do is actually start building him as a Dragoon, because he's one of the 2 natural spear users in the game. So you don't have to slap on a merit award. You're able to actually do the combo that makes the Dragoons really good in this game. So yeah. For most of the game, he's not going to have this really good option, because the Cultist Tower, unless you use Malulu's Charm to cheese it and not get encounters and just go straight to the Holy Dragon to get the Holy Lance, he's not going to have good attack options. The best you get is the Partisan until you get the Holy Lance. Excuse me there, but when you jump with a lance equipped, you actually do double damage on your attack. So what I would recommend is actually boosting his strength stat once you're in the World of Ruin, because building him as a Dragoon is a better option, and Holy Lance will actually fuck up anything that's weak to Holy. You're getting that double damage from the elemental weakness and the double damage from the jump attack. This was showcased in the Fiend battle, where he was doing over 8,000 damage each hit. Unfortunately, the best lance in the game is non-elemental. It does give him a lot of stat boosts. You can swap out weapons in battle, so it's not really that much of a big deal, but this gives him a lot more stat boosts than the Holy Lance does, and it has higher attack power. Now, if the enemy you're facing is resistant or absorbs Holy, you'll definitely want to use this. Circlet, no better helm. He is one of the 2 characters that I put the Aegis Shield on. Now, the Aegis Shield is a good shield, but it has no elemental resistances, but it is really good against magic. I guess it does give 20 evade and 40 magic evade. I guess there is an argument that it is better than the Genji Shield, so maybe the Genji Shield gets demoted? Who knows? But there's only 2 that you can find, and I believe you can get more, but it requires the Ragnarok Esper, and since the Ragnarok Esper's metaphor, his morph command is pretty random, it can take you a while to get some more Aegis Shields, but I do slap this on him because I'm really interested in boosting his evasion and magic evasion, because he doesn't really have much in the way of elemental resistances. And then you want to get him the Snow Scarf. Now, up until you get him the Snow Scarf from the Colosseum, the best piece of equipment that Mog can wear is the Diamond Vest, and that is an absolutely awful piece of armor. It has really nothing going for it. So, upgrade to the Snow Scarf as soon as you can. You trade for these for the Behemoth suit in the Colosseum. But yeah, this probably the second best piece of armor in the game. I don't know. You can make the argument between this and the Force Armor, but you cannot argue against his defense and magic defense values because I believe this is the highest in the game for any piece of armor. You can see down here that he has 251 defense, and I believe if you strap on the Paladin shield, he would have perfect defense. Maybe if you put the Genji helm on as well. Let's try. Unfortunately, try as I might, I can't get his magic defense up that high, but yeah, you can do a lot of things with his defense here. And I believe that defense is actually percentage based in this game, so having max defense, the most damage he will take is 1 damage. Same with magic defense. For relics, since I am going into a Dragoon build with him, you will want some Dragoon boost to enable the jump command. This will allow his lance attacks to do double damage, takes him out of harm's way. And then later in the game, when you're able to get it from the Phoenix Cave, get the Dragon Horn. This will change it so that he does a minimum of 2 jumps with every jump, which is just going to increase his damage output. This makes it so he can do anywhere from 2 to 4 jumps on his turn, so this just increases his damage output. Yeah, that's the way to go with Mog. I think luck is on our side, not with you. Okay, so Setzer, I got the Death Terror here. His best weapon is actually the fixed dice here. Now, the fixed dice works off of a formula. I believe it multiplies. Oh, how does it work? So it takes level into account, and then it like multiplies each of these by each other. So I would actually have to look it up. But long story short, it does a lot of damage. It has a chance to do a lot of damage. And it can really easily get up to there. So just ignore that it only gives +1 attack. That doesn't even matter. It's not taking attack or his strength into account when he uses his attack. So don't even worry about that. The fixed dice also ignore defense. So it's just a really, really good weapon. Circlet because best helm. Doesn't really matter. I would put a Thunder Shield on him. Flame Shield if he's in a Realms party. He can wear Force Armor, so put Force Armor on him. That's a no-brainer. I just put the Gale Hairpin on because it fits his character of luck, you know. This is a 25% chance increase in preemptive strikes. And what really makes this build is the synergy between the Master Scroll and the fixed dice. The Master Scroll allows him to do 4 attacks on his turn. So this allows his fixed dice to go from really good to ridiculously good. Got the chance to hit quadruple 9s 4 times each turn. So yeah, he's the best case for the Master Scroll. Now, why this is because the fixed dice also ignore the damage penalty from the Master Scroll. The Master Scroll, I believe, actually reduces your attack damage by 50%. So yeah, you get 4 attacks, but it's reducing your damage by quite a lot. So this mitigates that, and they have a lot of synergy between each other. So take that slots command. Once you get the fixed dice in the Master Scroll, it's over. Okay, so we have to go talk about this madman. Gao gets stronger on the Veldt. Gao's plenty strong right now. Okay, Gao has rage. He can pretty much do anything. I believe they actually fixed the bug where, you know, you place a shield in his right hand. That it was causing him to miss all of his physical attacks. So I don't think that's a concern anymore. So head circlet. I guess you could make the argument for the red cap or the Genji helm, because that's going to increase his defense to 254, but, you know, it doesn't really matter. He's the other one that I'm going to give the Aegis Shield, because I'm really interested in getting his evasion and magic evasion up. That's going to help him a lot. The Aegis Shield is just a really solid shield. There's nothing wrong with it, even though it doesn't have any resistances. Just the boost to evasion and magic evasion alone make it worthwhile. It's also got really good defense and magic defense stats. This is why dual wielding sucks in this game. One of the other people that could use the Snow Scarf, this is a no-brainer. Outside of the Snow Scarf, he doesn't really have any good body armor, so pick this up as soon as you can. This really makes him a complete package. Now, I do build him like Cayenne and all those others, the Hyper-Wrist and Hero's Ring. This really causes his damage to go through the roof. He already does good damage, but boosting everything by 50%, he's just going to decimate everything. Yeah, you pick the right rage and Gao will just go to work. He's just going to shred stuff. Not much more to say about him. This guy is a madman. He's top tier. Do a lot of things that other guys can't do, and he has some really good equipment draws, and it frees him up to just do ridiculous amounts of damage. Ooga! Okay, so we have Umaru here. Like, there's not much to say about Umaru. Umaru, you really can't change his equipment. I ended up bugging him out in the Coliseum because, of course, he did that in the Pixel Remaster. He comes equipped with the Bone Club, which is going to do his physical attack, and a Snow Scarf. He's one of the 3 people that can use a Snow Scarf. This is unfortunate that I lost it on him, because losing a Snow Scarf really hurts his defense and magic defense, even though he's got like better than anybody else while naked. Losing the Bone Club is going to hurt his attack. Now, he's automatically berserked, so I believe he does 50% more damage. For accessories, the Gauntlet allows him to hold his Bone Club in both hands. Now, I don't believe this affects anything else that he does, which is going to be unfortunate. So it's only going to affect the damage from his normal attack when he's striking with the Bone Club. There are some other considerations. He gets 2 accessories that are unique to him. I guess I will talk about them. Okay, so he gets the Blizzard Orb, which is going to boost his magic +5, and give him a... Well, it is good that it absorbs ice and negates fire, but this will change up his attack queue. So Umaru's base attack is to either strike them with the Bone Club, which is just a normal attack, or to do a Body Slam, which is basically a normal attack that ignores defense. So it's gonna hit a lot harder than his Bone Club attack. But this gives him a multi-target ice attack, and the formula is a little weird, and I'm going to talk about it after I talk about the Berserker Ring. But if you want to give him something that's going to cause multi-target ice damage to the enemy group, this is going to expand his options a little. Now the Berserker Ring, I believe this is the better option, to be honest. Now, if you couple these together, he's going to have some elemental resistances, because he's going to negate, well, he's going to absorb fire, absorb ice, and negate lightning damage with both of these equipped. Now, what the Berserker Ring does is it allows him to throw party members. And functionally, this isn't any different from his Body Slam. It just throws a party member, and the thrown party member, when they collide, that attack ignores defense. Now, the nice thing about this is that this can actually cancel out status effects like Confusion. When he throws them, they'll stop being confused. Now, the one thing I think that you need to watch out with is that this changes how his attacks work. So, base, he has Attack and Body Slam. He's going to do 50% chance on either of those. When you introduce these, It changes it to, I believe, 1/3. So he will do either 1/3 body slam or 1/3 blizzard orb attack, snowstorm or whatever, and it reduces his attack to 25% chance or whatever. I don't remember the actual formula or whatever, but the worst thing to do is to have both of these equipped at the same time, because if you're really counting on using the blizzard orb, it's going to make all 4 attacks a 25% chance. So it's like you don't really know what you're going to get, and it's not going to be very consistent. So I would only recommend equipping one of these at a time, and then either the gauntlet or some other accessory. One other nice thing about Umaro is that he is completely immune to the Confused status effect, and you can also actually cast Berserk on him and get more Berserk damage out of his Berserk flail attack for whatever reason. I don't know if that was an oversight or something, but unfortunately it disables all of his other options. So let's go talk to our last guy, Go-Go. Go-Go doesn't say anything because he's a fool. I'm not the hugest fan of Go-Go. Go-Go does have options. He is kind of good in the Coliseum because you could just flood him with attack commands from his status menu. He can do anything that you want him to do. I think you have to have the party member that has this commando. You have to have picked them up before, and you cannot use Terra's Trance because he's not an Esper. So that's one thing we know about him. He's not an Esper. What do I say about Go-Go? So I usually give him the Gladius. It's like the best dagger in the game. It's Holy Elemental, so if the thing is weak against Holy, it's going to do extra damage, but there's really not much that Go-Go could equip. He can equip these things here. He can equip rods, and he can equip daggers. So the best thing to give him is the Gladius. Unfortunately, he's not a very good attacker because you can't build his strength stat up with Espers, and his base strength is 27. His equipment draws are terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Circlet, because that's the best helm option he has. Really, there's not much options. His best body piece is the Magus Robe. This is absolutely terrible, to be honest. Now, if you don't give him the Paladin Shield, which I usually do, because the shield is completely broken, to be honest. This is the one thing that you could do to actually make him serviceable, is give him the Paladin Shield. However, everybody could equip the Paladin Shield, so you may want to put that elsewhere. Relics, I would recommend putting Miracle Shoes on him. He really needs something to boost it. I didn't actually farm those. And, I don't know, maybe slap a Zephyr Cloak on him as well to boost his evasion and magic evasion. Not really much going for Go-Go. Since his stats are bad, he's not going to do as much as... If you give him Blitz, he's not going to be as good as Sabin is with Blitz, because Sabin's just going to be able to build his magic stat. So, I'm not a huge fan of Go-Go at all. I typically don't even use the guy outside of, Coliseum, where he's going to be able to do, like, an Imp build. I used him to defeat Siegfried, but I guess... I don't know, can Go-Go do it? What do I mean? I mean, Mog do it, because Mog can also do Dragoon. I don't know if he uses Dance in the Coliseum. But you could just flood Go-Go with 3 attack commands, build him as an Imp Dragoon, and go from there and be able to beat some enemies in the Coliseum. Outside of that, I think Go-Go is actual trash, to be honest. I guess he has some fans because of what he could do. Like, some people don't like some of these characters, like Umaro, Strago, Gao. But I feel like Go-Go is like the worst character in the game, to be honest. All right, so that's pretty much everything I have to do to talk about equipment. So, well, at least in-game builds. So leave a like, comment, or subscribe down below. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time.